Hi, I'm Milena. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. We are back with another TBR board video. In 2024 I'm going to do it a little bit differently, or like from now on I'm going to do it a little bit differently because I've been doing these themed vlogs. It's really not achievable for me to do a TBR board every month. TBR board is my TBR game, by the way, and I will explain it later because it's been a while since I played this, but I'm going to do them seasonally, and maybe I will also do some vlogs with the TBR board. I'm not sure yet because I get bored easily. I did make some alterations to the TBR board. So before I'm going to start playing this, I'm going to give you a tour of the board. I'm going to kind of explain what it is. Not super lengthy, but kind of a catch up, especially if you're new here. If you just want the TBR, then feel free to skip to the next chapter. So the changes are quite minimal, but I'll just explain to you what the TBR board is. It is based on a Dutch game called Hansboard, which means that you have a start and I should just go all the way until you're here, and once I have finished on the smiley, I just go back to start. I used to have the rule that I get to buy a book when I'm back at start. All the colors with a black line, like these ones, are a genre tile, and when they have this like orange golden line, they are a genre tile, but you also have to pick a TBR card. So I will leave an overview of what all the genres are here. I've added a few, like short story collection, because I've been really getting into that, and I've also added romance with the little hearts. So this can be romance or just romance. I do have TBR cards, which are just prompts. When I get to the purple with a little bit of light purple in the middle, I have to pick a TBR card, and when, for example, I get here, I have to do an historical fiction and a TBR card, so that has to match. Those are definitely the most challenging. And then I have a few author tiles, which I kept the same. Virginia Woolf, Toni Morrison, George Eliot. I also still have the pet picks over here. I still have Cool a Friend and top 20 classics, which means I will pick from this jar, which has my top 20 classics that are on my TBR in here. Okay, so let's start at the beginning with the new ones. I have outfit pick, which means that a cover of a book has to match my outfit. I have this 100, which means a random number generator, and then I just look at my own TBR and I have to pick that one. This is one I'm really fearing. Tarot pick, which I based on a vlog that I did a while ago and I really enjoyed making. So I will pick from these oracle cards, and then I have to match the oracle cards to the book. Next up is one that I really need to redraw, because this is supposed to be a leaf, but it looks absolutely nothing like a leaf, but that means a seasonal pick. I have this one, which means that it's a book for a book club. I have this color wheel, which is also based on a vlog that I did Kindle, because I've been reading a lot on my Kindle, so I can just read random book from my Kindle. And smiley is a random emoji generator. Those are actually the only changes for the TBR board. I just use one die to get around, and I have this little pin to get around as well, and I do around 6 rolls, and I have one like punishment. That is that if I land on the same genre twice, I have to add an extra roll, but since we're doing a seasoning this year, I really don't see that being a big issue. I hope that explanation was kind of helpful. But we're going to start with the first roll. Just going to start at start and let's do the first roll. This has been a while. It's a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is outfit fit. Okay, that's cool. I am so happy that the first roll was a new tile, and that is going to be an outfit fit. And I'm wearing a very light blue and white jumper because of course it's the winter TBRs. It's very easy to also pick a wintry read, and I'm going to read The Ice Palace by Tarjei Versas. Which Tarjei Versas, I don't know if I'm saying this right, I will look it up. I love the cover and it really matches my outfit today with the blue and the white. This is the Norwegian Icelandic? It's a Scandinavian, definitely. Oh, Norwegian. So this is a Norwegian modern classic. I've had it on my TBR for 2 years now, I think. If you're not gonna read this in the winter, when will you? I don't know what it is about. I've heard really great things about the writing, and I just love reading Scandinavian lit in the winter. I also had it as my 2023 reading goal to read more Scandinavian lit. So if I read this before the end of the year, then it still counts. Alright, roll number 2 is a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But just a romance. We're getting all the new tiles. This is so exciting. Roll number 2 was romance, and with romance I always forget anticipated releases. So I am keeping this prompt slightly open in case there's a new release I forgot about, but one that I got through Libro FM. This is the last list of Mabel Beaumont by Laura Pearson. I wasn't sure if this was a romance, but it is tagged as romance on Goodreads. It's contemporary women's fiction romance. chick lit, so that sounds like it could fit the romance prompt. I'm also not sure what this is about, but I have seen some hype online for it, so I'm going to listen to this one unless I find an anticipated romance release. But this one is on the TBR for now. Roll number 3. Another 6, wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is a modern classic. Roll number 3 was a modern classic, and I'm gonna read a tough one, but an anticipated one, and that is The Well of Loneliness by Radcliffe Hall. This is a modern classic, a British modern classic. On the back it says, named by her wealthy father who wanted a boy, Stephen knows she does not fit in. She hates wearing her hair long, loves riding and fencing, and she soon realizes is attracted to women. So an early lesbian classic, and I'm really excited to read it. It's a bit of a big one, and I know it will take me a while, but since we're making a seasonal TBR, I feel confident. Roll number 4. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a modern classic, so also an extra roll. Roll number 4 was another modern classic, which means we will have to add an extra roll at the end. But for this one, I am going to read a book that I don't own physically yet. I might listen to the audiobook, and that is All Quiet on the Western Front. This is a book about German soldiers during the Second World War, written by a German as well. I've heard really heartbreaking things about it. It's supposed to be really detailed about all the horrible elements of war. And I just said Second World War, but it might also be the First World War. I think it's the First World War. Well, I'll check. But I read, wait, where is it? I read On the Womanly Face of War a few months ago. The censor of this book, which his notes are included in this book, and All Quiet on the Western Front is referenced by that censor as he is blaming this author for being influenced by him. And this was a 5-star read for me, so basically I also really want to read All Quiet on the Western Front. Roll number 5. Is it 3? 1, 2, 3, which is a seasonal read. Roll number 5 was seasonal read, and now that we have all these classics, let's also add a fantasy, because I've been really getting into fantasy this year, and I'm going to add The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden. I know I'm really late to the party. A lot of people have finished this trilogy, loved it. A lot of beautiful editions have come out. I found this secondhand and I really love this edition as well, but it's supposed to be based on the Russian mythology. I think winter and snow is a big part of this book. If I love it, then I have 2 more books to read. It's about this girl who has to choose between her magic and saving her village. I think so. I've heard, of course, a lot of really wonderful things about this series, so I can't wait to read it. And I knew that if I read it, I would definitely read it in winter. Roll number 6 is a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, which is non-fiction with a TBR card. Oh, this is going to be a hard one. Okay, let's pick one. A book with illustrations. Do I have a non-fiction with illustrations? I have absolutely no clue. Roll number 6 was a non-fiction with like a gold orange lining, so I also had to pick a TBR card, and that was a book with illustrations. I don't think it's super hard to find a non-fiction with illustrations, especially if it's a biography, but the point is that I usually listen to non-fiction on audiobooks, so I don't really own a whole lot of them, and the ones that I do own are like 1,000-page biographies, so I'm not gonna put that on the TBR ever. I think these ones are the only non-fiction that I own that aren't biographies, and I have If Walls Could Talk and These Precious Days. So let's see if one of these has illustrations. Okay, I don't think the essays have illustrations. Nope. That is unfortunate, because this is the one I wanted, to be honest, and because this one is just more texting, I think, but this one, yeah. Okay, it has illustrations above the titles, and I think it also, yeah, has photos in it. So this one is going to be, this is If Walls Could Talk by Lucy Worsley. I'll definitely look up an audiobook for this one, because I've really enjoyed Lucy Worsley's writing in audiobook form before. This is all about household stuff throughout history, which is a subject I'm really interested in. So I think I will really enjoy this. Oh, it's only 300 pages, so it's not that much, but it feels like it's gonna be a dense read somehow. But if I can find an audiobook, that will be really, really fun. And also, this could also have fitted for outfit fits, but yeah. I'm picking it for this prompt. Roll number 7 and the final roll, unless we get another modern classic or non-fiction. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we do have add another one. Whoopsies. So this is a modern classic with a TBR card. Let's see. A second chance genre. Roll number 7 was a modern classic with one of those linings again. So I also had to pick a TBR card, and that is second chance genre. If you've seen some of my wrap-ups this year, you know that I basically started to read everything. I think there are a few things that I never really seem to love. One of them is thriller, another one is dystopian, Sci-fi I kind of love, but I just don't really read it, so I wouldn't call sci-fi a second chance genre, but books that I have read and just not liked are thrillers and dystopians. So I think I'm going to go for dystopian because I still really want to like that genre. So I'm going to read one that I've been interested in. I don't own it, but I might buy it, I don't know, we'll see. But that is Brave New World, and this is such a classic, and I do believe it is a sci-fi dystopian. I'm not sure when it was written, but it's definitely a modern classic. Don't know what to make of this yet. I have no idea. There's a really big chance I won't like it, that I will DNF it, but it is one of those classics that I would like to give a go, and it really fits as well, this TBR card. So going on the TBR, there were a lot of repeat genres, so I have to add one last roll, and that is roll number 8. Is a 1. And that is just an ordinary TBR card. A protagonist over 40. Okay, that could be fun. Roll number 8 was a TBR card, and this was a protagonist over 40. And maybe I'm bending this prompt a little bit, but I think it will fit one of our book club reads. And that is Little by Edward Carey. This is about the person who created the museums, Madame Tussauds. And I think this follows her throughout her whole life. So at some point she's going to be a protagonist over 40. Is it cheating a little bit? I don't know, maybe. But this is a historical fiction about her entire life, and I'm assuming she didn't die before 40. If she did, then I will have to find another book for this prompt. But I really like that Mary picked this for us. If you want to read this with us, it is part of the Hobbitses book club. I will leave the information in the description down below. But this is also a chunky one, and I have not been taking good care of this book. If I'm looking at it. Right, that leaves me with this nice little pile for my winter TBR, and of course some books that I am going to listen to or that I don't own yet. I really like that it's classics heavy because I've been really trying to get back into classics. Of course, when I read things for prizes, they are contemporary books, and I would like to add some classics to my TBR board reads. So this is the TBR. I'm pretty excited for all of them. None of them really stand out as something I've been wanting to read for a long time, but most of them do have a bit of a wintry vibe, and I'm a big seasonal reader, so I think I will really enjoy that. If you want to see me talk about these books, then be sure to hit the subscribe button and let me know if you've read any of these books. For now, I hope that you have a lovely day or evening, and I hope to see you in another video. Doei!